Hey, this is the Gang Breaks Kayfabe, and we are here to break kayfabe on a very special
Ugh.
event. Wait, you guys didn't think this was very special? I'm joined, as always, by Aaron Draven, Jason Taylor, and Vance Desmond for this exciting adventure into our review of WrestleMania 7. Now, a lot of you might be asking, we're asking ourselves, how did we get roped into this? And if you would like to know, it's our friend of the show, Nick, sent us a message on Facebook, asking us to review a classic WWF show, and follow that up with naming WrestleMania 7, or specifically, I don't know why.
It's a rib on us, I'm
It's a
pretty sure.
rip on us, but
Nick hates the show.
you can be like Nick, and you can reach out to us through Facebook, drop a comment on this video on YouTube, however you can get a hold of us. If you have a show that you want us to review, or if you have a topic you want us to discuss on the show, or whatever, questions about wrestling, whatever you got, send them to us, and we will do our best uh, to make that a part of our show going forward. So, like I said, this is going to be our review of WrestleMania 7. Uh, let's get some of the pre show info out of the way. This was originally scheduled to be held at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum outdoors, but was moved to nearby Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. And who knows why?
What a generic name.
Yeah.
It's the
Uh,
sports arena. Yeah. But what's it called? The sports arena.
and do you guys know why it was moved?
Yes.
Because they couldn't sell tickets, but they say it's
Wait.
because of security threat.
Yeah.
But yeah. So on Conrad Thompson with Bruce Pritchard says
Something
they
to
did
wrestle
have
with.
to they did have to return money on tickets. But then Dave Meltzer said they did not, that they didn't sell enough to have to return any money. So
Yeah, so according to Bruce Pritchard on Something to Wrestle With, he said that it was a little bit of both was the reason, and he said that uh, basically the show was they would have had to foot the bill for security because the show was such large scale that they would have had to pay the police and everything to be security. And he said that uh, he says there also were some threats, but I think it was more just completely the tickets. Uh, Dave Meltzer, yep, he reported that between 11,900 and 15,000 tickets were sold before the show. No tickets had to be refunded, indicating that sales were under 15,500. Comp tickets were believed to help fill the show's crowd. Uh, so yeah,
think
this
about how
was
crazy that statement is. This year, WrestleMania front rows $38,000, and they would
yeah.
give them away at WrestleMania 7.
This show is a little unique as it is uh, the first WrestleMania and everything without Jesse Ventura on commentary with old Gorilla. Ventura had left WWF in August 1990 after a dispute with Vince McMahon over uh, his likeness being in a Sega game. Apparently, Sega, and I think the game did come out. I never
No,
played it.
the Ventura one never
Oh,
even
didn't?
came out.
Okay. So he left the WWF in 1999. Sega had wanted to do Jesse Ventura's Wrestling All Stars or something like that, and Vince would not allow it. He basically said that he owned everybody's likeness and name. Ventura was like, "Fuck that! I own my own name," and Vince basically
Same,
said he would fire Ventura if he went ahead with the deal. So Ventura said he was done and he quit.
same as Sergeant Slaughter in the G.I. Joe thing, basically.
Jesse Ventura's Wrestling Superstars. That's what it was. Uh, so yeah,
So, yeah.
this.
That guy.
So we
Be
get
seen again later.
we mostly get Bobby Heenan joining Gorilla on commentary, but throughout the show we get
Hacksaw
uh,
Jim Duggan in the
Hacksaw
video.
Jim
Lord
Duggan
Alfred
and
Hayes.
Dress right.
Lord Alfred Hayes.
The best of the best.
So I initially, just right off the bat, when I found out that Hacksaw Jim Duggan was going to be a color commentator, I rated this show a F minus immediately. Um, I then
Uh,
proceeded to watch the rest of it and changed it a little bit, but
you saw him dressed completely as Uncle Sam and was like, "Screw it, it's an A."
yeah, I'm like, we don't need this to happen. He was somehow better on commentary than Lord Alfred Hayes, though.
Oh yeah, I thought he was surprisingly like competent as a
He
commentator.
really
He
wasn't
got
terrible.
he got blown up though. Like
Yeah.
he was all crazy, and then he was like just laying out for like the last half.
Well,
I have some notes once we get to the match that he commentated.
uh, yeah, we open the show with the Rockers taking on Haku and Barbarian, and Marty
You
Jannetty,
skipped something, sir.
You skipped something super major important.
the
I'll
promo.
give you a hint. It was wearing a Macho Man do-rag, Bret Hart glasses, a WrestleMania t-shirt, and a child-sized toy belt.
What did I skip?
Good old Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson
Oh.
singing the definitive version.
So yeah, okay. What do you guys got through? Because I completely forgot that happened.
Well, I just described what you missed out on. He was rocking every bit of merchandise that was possibly available that day.
Did you say
Like,
a child's?
It was
t-shirt?
legitimately
It's a
child belt, like the
Oh,
foam
okay.
belts.
If you said, "Oh no, that's a fanny pack that just has a picture of a belt on the front of it," I said, "Oh yeah, that's the right size."
Oh, so okay. I thought he did wear a fanny pack. I thought that's what because
No,
I looked up.
it's a child's replica belt,
Okay. Was
and
the performance good?
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the definitive performance of America the
Okay.
Beautiful. When I think of it, it's either him or Ray Charles from Mania. I have no other frame of reference for this song, so
Well, after the spectacular Willie Nelson performance that I definitely
perfect.
mentioned right off the bat, we get a Rockers promo, and Marty is got the Coke sweats going real good, real good. Uh,
So
they're
sweaty.
they are glistening. Uh, the the match, I forgot how fucking cool the Barbarian looked. With like that is a badass look.
I have the same note. That's the best look of his career.
Yeah. Uh, I really really loved Heenan actually giving directions at ringside. I feel like managers don't do that anymore. Now they just sort of like, come on, and like whatever. Like managers really serve no purpose now other than
Right.
to interfere. But like Heenan was actually giving them instructions on the floor and like advice and all that. So I thought that was a cool. I thought that was cool to see. The Rockers to me were always the perfect team to kick off any major show. Uh, and I thought they again did that here. I thought the match was. I really enjoyed this match. Uh, I
Uh,
always, I
they
always
were
think the Rockers do a great job of making everybody look like $1 million.
a complaint about nowadays wrestling surfaced in this. They had a double super kick and wasn't even the finish. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Well, technically, Jannetty didn't touch it all. Oh no, that was the double drop kick, right? He completely missed
Yeah.
him with that
Yes, double drop kick.
one.
I do think it's weird that Haku went from WrestleMania 6, he's the tag champ, to WrestleMania 7, he's in the opener with a jobber entrance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead, Jason.
yeah, there were multiple times when I think the Coke got the best of Jannetty, and he proved he was the Jannetty of the team by just completely missing punches with the Barbarian. Like he was, that kind. He must have taught Haku's son how to throw punches because they
It
were
was
just
from that. It was
completely
from that
missing.
match.
That's the only thing they look at. I did like the power bomb setup and then the hot shot over the top ropes move.
Yeah.
That they did. I like, man, that actually isn't too terrible. Someone should try that again.
The drop kick into the Rana when he's up in the power bomb, like
Mhm.
that was cool.
I mean, really, it was impressive. The Barbarian, like the way he just jumped over the fucking top rope for that like, he's a big dude to just be that athletic. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I was a little bit of a mark for Barbarian during this match. Like, I was very, uh, yeah, I was very happy with the match. I graded this match a B.
Same.
I gave it a B plus.
B plus.
And I gave it a C plus. I started out
Really?
already.
Not to ruin all the rest of my ratings, but this is my highest rated match of the entire card. B.
Oh
Which was a
wow!
what? What was it again? I'm sorry, a B?
That's a B. That's my highest rated match of the entire
Uh,
card.
I did like Hacksaw on commentary, like
I
1
think
minute
it's a
into the match.
tie.
He says, the Rockers really got to start using the ring.
Yeah.
It's like the match just started. Like, we don't need to be cutting them off so they can't get to theirs. What are you talking about?
Well, if they just immediately cut a guy off, that's going to be a lot easier to continue to cut him
Oh,
off.
I took it more
Yeah.
literally, like
Do-
he means take the turnbuckle off and start beating the guy with
Like,
the ring.
That could be
Oh.
it too.
Maybe that's what he's going for. Do we have any reason why they chose Hacksaw to be the
America.
commentator?
America.
I
Yeah.
don't feel like he ever. They did keep saying this is a star-spangled WrestleMania 7. So there was a gimmick.
I think
They
they
also
just
later talk about the international flavor of the event, and I'm like, what? There's stars and stripes everywhere. What are you talking about?
They also just straight up lie, I'm pretty sure, and keep saying that it's the most watched pay-per-view event of all
They
time.
said that a lot.
That had to be Vince saving face on not having the biggest gate of all time. He's like, oh, it's the biggest pay-per-view audience. That sounds even
Yeah.
better.
I feel like you wouldn't have that in those day and age. You wouldn't have that kind of number in real time anyway to be
Right.
able to say, "Oh yeah, here's how many pre-sold it." But
They gave it free to all the army bases, and they're probably counting those.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
there you go.
They're like, the country that this base resides in can technically come watch this.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
1 million for there.
So me and Tim had it a B. Draven did a B plus, and
I had
Jason
a
was
C plus.
a C plus. What?
Jason was just wrong.
What kept it out of
I
B territory?
felt
for
that
you?
it was a basic tag match, but it was a little better. So I went with the again first one I'm grading. So it was okay. That's a good match. Nothing exciting, nothing completely terrible in it. So that's a C, but it was a little bit better. I'm still
So-
trying to figure out again what my letter grades are compared to a star system. That's all.
So the Rockers would split up in December of '91 after WrestleMania 7. According to Shawn Michaels, Jannetty was claiming that WCW were willing to give them a really high guarantee contract. But Michaels says he inquired about, like, to WCW about it. Turns out it was a pretty big exaggeration on Marty's part. Jannetty disputes this, saying that Michaels was the driving force to quit WWF, go to WCW. But when Vince went ahead and agreed to let them go, Marty called Vince to ask for a release from the contract, and Vince agreed to let them go. And Michaels was shocked by this, and without Marty knowing, went to Vince to explain that this was completely Jannetty's idea, that he had no intention of leaving the WWF. So they ended up both staying on, and the decision was made to split them up, with Michaels turning heel. I think Shawn Michaels went on to do something, but I can't quite remember what the rest of his career looked like. But I'm sure the kid had a good career. Marty Jannetty, on the other hand, he went on to superstardom.
He's worked
He went on
50%
to
of his
sleep with his
podcast.
He wrestled Vince McMahon. Or Vince McMahon. Vance, that's
Did you confuse me and Vince
Same
McMahon?
amount of accusations. What?
Same.
What?
So another historic thing. This is the last WrestleMania of the Rockers and the Hart Foundation both.
Yeah.
Brett and Sean both became singles after this. They tried earlier with Brett, but this one was the one it took.
I think it was the last tag match for Demolition too.
Close to, if not.
So yeah, of course we got the famous Bruce Beefcake's barbershop segment where Michaels super kicked Jannetty through the glass. But yeah, Jannetty would end up being suspended by the WWF in 1992 after an incident outside a Tampa nightclub. He was arrested and put under house arrest with charges of arresting arrest with force, cocaine possession, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
I don't know.
while-
It doesn't sound like him to me. I don't think that's
No,
him.
that
Different
doesn't
guy.
sound like
That's
the guy I saw chain smoking talking
What-
to Vance Desmond about their match.
Was this before or after he killed that guy behind the bowling alley and threw him in the river?
After.
Allegedly. I mean, he said it. I don't know how alleged it is anymore if he said it, but
Didn't he say on Dark Side of the Ring he was trying to shoot his own angle? That was the whole. It's a
He
work.
was shooting something. Haku and Barbarian, that team would end shortly after this match as well.
Not
Haku
forever.
would what?
Not forever.
Not forever. They ended up becoming a badass team in WCW. Haku would briefly just do a couple singles matches. He would go on a house show run with Ricky Steamboat, and then he would go to start working the Super World Sport SWS shows, which we'll get more into later.
Yeah.
Uh, he competed in the 1992 Rumble and then left WWF to exclusively work for SWS. Uh, Barbarian, I did not know this, but he challenged Bret Hart for the IC title on an episode of the Wrestling Challenge, or at Tuesday in Texas. But he no-showed the event and was replaced by Skinner. uh, and in 1992, he reunited with his Powers of Pain tag team partner, the Warlord, and lost to the New Foundation. He participated in the 1992 Royal Rumble. He was eliminated by Hercules. He then left the WWF in February 92 and went to WCW.
So I have a side thing we should do. We should keep a tally of how many people we've worked with, because there's already Janetti, there's already Barb, or there's already Anvil I know of just off the top of my head. So
you got Hacksaw on that list?
Hacksaw, yeah.
We'll also keep a running tally of how many guys went to WCW shortly after this, like within like a 5-year period.
So I watched this with my wife, who has not much memories of any of this kind of stuff. We kept a running tally of how many people were still alive.
That too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because it was easier to count the alive people all the way through the show than it was to count the death.
Did you count Marty Jannetty being dead inside as alive?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Willie Nelson's the only one of these people still with us.
After this match, we go to the back where Mean Gene is standing with Regis Philbin, Marla Maples, and Alex Trebek, who are our celebrity guests for the evening and will be involved in the main event later.
I gave
my note is sad celebrities.
I gave this segment an A+ for Mean Gene's A+ dick joke he slid in there.
What was it?
I didn't catch it.
Marla Maples said she was gonna call him like she sees him in the showers, and Mean Gene said, "Oh, gonna be a lot of cold showers, I'm guessing then."
You graded the segments too?
This one I did.
Okay.
This one.
Also, I like how later, I may have been in this one or another Alex Trebek, where Mean Gene's like, my good close friend Alex Trebek. He's like, hey, Gene.
Called him Jim.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, hey, Jim.
Yeah, it was this one. It was later on in the. It was later on.
Yeah, my good buddy.
Yeah, he sounded like my good buddy of quite a long time or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Trebek was, hey, Jim.
The whole thing seemed very unprepared to gloriousness, because like we got Regis rambling about how Earthquake tipped over a food truck or something and ate all the food, so he's scared of him now. And then Mean Gene's response is, Regis, you're beautiful.
True story. So me and my brother went to a house show before Earthquake actually debuted on TV, and for whatever reason, he scared the shit out of my brother. Like, I'm talking, I was scared of Freddy Krueger because I saw those movies when I was too young and I had nightmares about him. My brother had the same amount of nightmares about Earthquake.
The nicest man ever. Like,
I know, right?
World renowned.
That's what he says nowadays. He can't believe he was scared of such a nice guy.
And I was in the arena the night he debuted. So
that's right. Yeah,
because that was in Wheeling. So,
well, it's also weird because at the time he wasn't like even as big as he eventually would get. Like,
right.
He wasn't a big guy when he first kind of showed up.
For the record, as someone from Wheeling, when they called him out of the audience to come in and have them, sit on the back for the push-up, yeah, that could have been any number of people from Wheeling at that point.
Very believable.
Or today.
So
I was like, oh yeah, that guy looks normal. He's got a polo on. He came and brought his kids.
Which of the natural disasters had a worse after being natural disasters? Tenta or Cody's or uncle?
Shockmaster.
Fred. Fred,
Talking about
yeah.
Fred?
I'd say definitely Fred Ottman.
Yeah, because he was out of the
Well, he had to
business
be-
after that Shockmaster run.
Yeah, but isn't that better than being Golga?
No, you're getting paid.
I know,
Also,
but
you're completely forgetting when
Earthquake was the shark.
He was a shark, not a man. He was a shark.
Yeah, that too. He had to be Golga and the shark. I'm just like, yeah, I'll retire.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the falling through the stage.
But that's actually become, I mean, that's become a big thing. Like fans still want to meet him because of
True.
that. He makes money off that to this day. Like he
There's
brings the
action
helmet with
figures
him.
of the yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I think
probably
he made more-
I think he
made
probably
more
did
money
have a
than
better.
Tenta did.
Have any of you actually met him?
Yeah, I've met him at a convention.
I met
I don't
him
think I
once,
have.
and he like a sweet guy. We were on a video chat thing because I was at
Oh,
Rocky's
yeah.
house, and they were bringing
Yeah,
him in
oh.
for something. But shout out to Rocky Turner and the Nerd Closet and the Asylum.
I don't know what
But
any of
they
these
were bringing
words
him in.
are.
It was sorry. So it was a weird random thing. I was at a friend's house and he was doing a video call with one of the Bushwhackers and Typhoon. And I was like, he was like, hey, if you want to slide over here and put your head in the camera, you can say hey to him. And I was just like, hey, weird. Like I didn't know what to say, but they were both
What's up,
very,
Tucker?
very nice.
You should have
Hey,
slid in and been like, "Are you the Bushwhacker from WrestleMania 5 that gave the hand job?"
Right. It's like I'm more of a fan of the
You gotta be
sheep
more
herders when
specific.
y'all were bloody and crazy, but okay.
Well, after the celebrity segment, we go to the Texas Tornado taking on Dino Bravo. I think Dino Bravo also got the jobber entrance for this one.
He deserved
What the
it.
fuck is
Yep.
wrong with Carrie? Like, what
This match,
drugs,
He
I guess?
doesn't have. It was
What?
almost like he was only like working on one foot.
Yeah. I don't-
His bumps were so weird, like just
Well,
weird.
he's learning how to balance on one leg, my man.
So, my takeaway from this match is that these two getting a Mania payday for the work they did in the ring is a travesty.
Yeah.
Both were gassed immediately and gassed to the gills in the other way.
I put Carrie's in great shape. It looks in great shape, but is somehow out of shape.
Yeah.
Dino Bravo has like the worst physique of anyone they ever gave a strongman gimmick to. Like he looks like the barrel-chested, throwing the boulders strongman, but that doesn't translate to what WWE was at the time at all.
At one point during the match, Dino Bravo either did an atomic drop and forgot to put his knee out, or it was a weird spine buster, and I'm not sure what it was supposed to be.
was
So
weird.
that was weird. And then he goes up to the top, and maybe he only went to the second rope. He's as graceful as I would be.
I think you're
Like,
selling yourself short.
That's not the
Yeah.
only time I felt that during this entire show. I was like, why is this person on a rope?
You're
Like,
Rey
they have no clue
Mysterio
what they're doing.
compared to Dino
It looks
Bravo.
like Steiner coming off the apron, just kind of falling.
Dino Bravo has no redeeming qualities. Like he's not a good bumper. He's not a good promo. He has no charisma. Why the fuck did he have a job?
That's why he got shot on in the end.
Oh! And then this
Too soon?
This-
I mean,
this
that
was the match
allegedly,
that-
we don't need any
No,
Canadian
he got shot on.
mafias.
I'm pretty sure that happened.
Well, you should say allegedly Canadian mafia, but he definitely
Right.
got shot.
He definitely got shot.
still a legend.
This was the match that, due to the work rate, my wife was like, they're clearly piping in crowd noise because no one is cheering, no one is chanting, but it sounds really loud. So the hard cam side, like where the hard cam is, apparently was just really into the match.
This is also Kerry Von Erich's only WrestleMania match.
Yes.
This is his WrestleMania
Oh,
legacy.
that is a bad fact.
I put that I have legitimately seen better training matches between two baby shit green trainees before, and I rated this match an F-.
That's what I got too. F-.
Wow, I was generous with a D.
Yeah, I
Wow.
gave it a D. Again, I'm trying to figure out this scaling system. So it got a D for me.
Me and Cash have been in a complete agreement. Let's see how long that holds.
So as Vance said, this is the Tornado's first and only WrestleMania match. He continued to be heavily pushed in the first half of '91, But by November of '91, he lost to the Undertaker in about 4 minutes. Then he had his last pay-per-view appearance at the Rumble in '92. He started just doing house shows, feuding with Skinner, and then Rick Martel, which he went winless in against Martel. And then his final appearance on WWF TV was a loss to Shawn Michaels on uh, Prime Time Wrestling in 1992.
So Kerry Von Erich, I didn't realize it was so short his run there. But like as a kid, he made. Apparently, I was just a body guy back then too because I didn't know how terrible these matches were. But like when me and my cousin would wrestle on the trampoline and we'd all pick a wrestler to be, I was Kerry Von Erich a lot. I love that tornado punch, and I thought
I
that
did
dude was
too.
awesome. But now I'm like, what was I thinking?
When I was a
But
kid, I loved the Texas Tornado. I thought that punch was so badass.
yeah, so cool.
But yeah, he was not good.
The punch looked good exactly one time ever when he gave it to Mr. Perfect. Any other time
Yeah.
it looked stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. But that one time was awesome. And that's all. Now we know that was because of Mr.
Right.
Perfect.
That was because Mr. Perfect sells his ass off.
I want to get a DNA test for Dolph Ziggler and Mr. Perfect's actual son because I think they were mixed up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because Dolph Ziggler is the new Mr. Perfect, or I guess old now, but
Yeah.
man, they look alike. They were the best two sellers of all time. Like they both were underutilized. Like they're the same dude.
Dolph actually got to get a world title win though.
Yeah, it's true.
Which this show made me really realize like how unimportant the WWF titles started becoming. Like,
Well, if you didn't know so, you could just read the Ultimate Warrior's tights. It tells you the title's not important on
that's
his trunks.
yeah. It doesn't matter
He says
more.
he says more important than this.
Yeah.
And a picture of the belt. I'm like, what?
I can't believe Vince approved that.
Yeah.
So this was Dino Bravo's final WWF pay-per-view match. He would turn face after this, mostly just worked undercard. He had like a lot of little mini feuds with everybody managed by Jimmy Hart. His final WWF match was at UK Rampage 92, where he teamed with the Iron Sheik in a match against the Legion of Doom.
Oh my god, that is in my wrestling hell.
He wrestled one final time following the European tour. His last match was on May 17th, 1992, when he defeated Richard Sharland in Vermont for the New England Wrestling Federation.
Nice.
Jesus.
So, yeah, he had a spectacular post-WrestleMania 7 career.
And he looks like he's Ronnie Garvin's brother. When I was a kid, I used to get him confused. I'm like, is that Ron? No, that's not Ronnie. You look at the size of the chest.
Isn't Greg Valentine actually, or was that a gimmick? Wasn't he like related to Ronnie Garvin?
I think he's
kayfabe
related
or
to him. I
something?
think they're brothers or brother-in-laws maybe or something.
Brother-in-law.
I think
yeah.
you're thinking of Johnny Valentine. That's Greg's father.
Okay, I know that, but
too.
no, I think him and Garvin were like, yeah.
No,
brother-in-law.
you're mixing up Ron Garvin with Jimmy Garvin.
He's a free bird. He likes to point.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, don't do that or we'll end up wiping the show because that's
true. Draven will think
Dude, like two of us were doing it. Must be time.
Then we get backstage promos from the Warlord with Slick and the British Bulldog, and these are both just, if Draven graded that first promo or that first segment an A+.
This is a C for cocaine.
And then the Rockers got to see this segment had to be an F for just total what the fuckness from everybody involved.
Fucked up on cocaine.
Yeah.
That's the.
So then we get the Warlord versus the British Bulldog, and I have to ask. I think Vance would know the answer to this question possibly, but at this point in time, when these two wrestled at WrestleMania 7, how much of the world steroid supply do you think had been taken up by these two guys?
Well, this same Mania is when the World Bodybuilding Federation started, was this year. And they promoted it all Mania or whatever. But yeah, these dudes, you can see how red they are. Like that's a patented steroid thing. When you're red and it looks like if someone poked you with like something sharp, you would pop.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
they looked awesome, especially the Warlord. The Warlord still to this day looks awesome.
He's still.
and
I was
he's a
talking to
guy we've worked
somebody.
with.
I was talking to somebody about him and the Barbarian. Like I can't remember who it was or why, but it was the dude at that card shop I was telling you about that could be like
Yeah.
a partner for us. Uh, but yeah, we were talking about them, and I was telling him because he was talking about how big they were, and I was like, those dudes, as of just a few years ago, were still fucking humongous, especially the
Barb was
Warlord.
Barb was a little flabby. He was still a big dude, but Warlord was still jacked. He worked
Yeah,
ASW with us, Draven. What was that? Maybe 8 years ago or something.
6, 7,
And
8 years ago. Yeah.
he still looked like he could be in the Fed. He was better built than the guys in the Fed time because they were getting drug tested mostly. But yeah, and he still was red, just the same color of tomato red.
So some of the standout parts of this match for me was when Bulldog didn't even bother selling an eye gouge from the Warlord. Warlord eye
What about
gouges him,
this?
and Bulldog just looks at him like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that."
More importantly, how dumb was the fake Queen of England thing? I'm like, why are they doing this?
Oh, were they? Yeah, because they showed somebody in the crowds. Yeah.
The Queen, no, they had her interviewed. They showed an interview from
Oh, do they
backstage or
interview
whatever.
too? Oh, I didn't see
Yeah,
that part.
like she was the queen and she was against the British Bulldog, and it turned out it was Bobby Heenan paid an actress to say that. I'm like, why?
I don't remember seeing that.
When did any of this happen?
When did you
Oh,
did you
yeah.
watch it on Peacock?
No, I watched on YouTube.
That's why.
Okay.
Did you guys watch it on Peacock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Peacock version cuts out a lot of like a lot of the times they'd
Package?
say like
There was a whole package for this thing.
a lot of the times when they'd say like let's take a look at how this match came together or whatever, we'd get a Peacock ad.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got that thing. And there was, Bobby Heenan paid a fake queen who had another dog that said she hated the British Bulldog, and then was revealed she was an actress and not the real Queen of England, which of course she wasn't. Like,
well, now I need to go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you scream it on the cock, you miss things.
Does anyone remember the Bulldog having a different dog when he was by himself? Like, everybody remembers Matilda. Does anyone remember Winston? That's what this dog's name was.
No, that dog was very different color scheme than.
But like, I don't remember him having a dog named Winston. I only ever remember Matilda.
That wasn't Matilda?
No.
Oh, I thought he even said Matilda in the back in the promo. He says Winston.
Oh, yeah, Winston's more like the brindle kind of color than what Matilda was, apparently.
Hey, Cash, before you give your grade, I want to give mine to see if it matches.
Well,
and I'm not just.
The thing is, you were probably distracted, like we were in our house, by his braids, because that then became the only conversation the entire match. Why, if he was getting his hair braided like that, like a white woman that went to the islands that has seashells in it, but then he just got it like parted.
I never noticed that as a kid. I know, right? Like it was more mullet with just some cornrows in the back. It's so fucking weird. It started at the beginning. It looks so
when I picture the British Bulldog in my head in the WWE, he always has braids.
Yeah, same here. I either picture that or like early on the Bulldogs where he had like short hair.
Yeah,
like those are only two I picture.
That's it. You don't see the crew cut Heart Foundation version
or the jeans.
Oh God, yeah. My other takeaway from this match was so after no selling the eye gouge, he would also later take a nap to show just how unbothered he was by the Warlord's full Nelson.
I thought for how big they were, how it was just a Haas body guy match. Like they had a decent pace for what they were doing.
The standing drop kick he hit was fantastic.
Well,
then he went to the middle rope and tried to do a double axe handle that again made me go, why are these people going to the rope?
He didn't try to do a double axe handle. I think he fell and tried to turn it into like a punch. It was so bad. Yeah.
Well, before we all unveil our grades for this match, I want to let the audience know they can make an A+ move by going to buy some t-shirts. And if they don't know how, here you go.
Oh, this t-shirt is gross, but what do I do? It's all I got.
That's the only shirt you've got? I might have a solution for you then. If you go to ProWrestlingTees.com and you search for Aaron Draven, which I think you guys can all see right there on the screen how to spell it, you can find official Gang Breaks Kayfabe t-shirts. That's right. Jason, can you believe it?
I can't, but what I can believe is you can get your official shirt of either all of us, or you can choose which one of us you like the best and get just our shirt. Fine.
It's kayfabe, full logo on a pink shirt, or pick. Do you prefer Vance, Jason, Cash, or Omega, and get a yellow shirt? Oh, I wish he wasn't doing that.
That's so
Let's get him a
weird.
long sleeve shirt.
So the only thing you guys didn't mention,
But Draven,
I'll
how do
bring
they
up.
find
I'll bring
those
up the
shirts
price.
again?
They are $19.99 each, no matter what design you pick. ProWrestlingTees.com/wrestlers-t-shirts/Aaron Draven. Super easy to remember. Definitely not going to be on the screen here because you're going to be able to remember it without me even putting a graphic up.
And go buy them. That way I can afford to buy one for myself.
And I don't need this anymore.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Lord.
Here we go. That was the whole reason you wanted to do this, is so he can take his shirt off.
Right now, you know, to play this damn game.
So those shirts are all A pluses, I would say. But back to the British Bulldog and the Warlord. The crowd I thought was hot as fuck for the Bulldog winning and for the Bulldog in general. Bulldog though was not very enthusiastic throughout the match. And also, like, I thought it was crazy that these two juiced up giants had such better stamina than Tornado and Dino Bravo. But I thought overall this match, I graded it a D plus.
That's exactly what I got.
I gave it
So
a.
we're 3 for 3.
I gave it a C, but that's only raising it half a grade because of the dog being involved.
Okay.
So I gave it a C minus. My only other note was that Gorilla says the irresistible force moving the immovable object. I thought that was a one-time thing that they only used. I didn't realize that was a weekly Michael Cole catchphrase.
Yeah.
And I
That
was
was
like,
his-
wait
Yeah,
a
that was
second, what?
vintage. That was
Oh, he's-
vintage
Yeah,
for him.
that
He
was
said
his
that all
version
the
of
time.
vintage.
Gorilla had a
Slaughter
lot of
knocker.
those.
Because the only time you see it in promos now are, video packages or just like Hogan and Andre. And I was like, wait, what? This is not no Hogan and Andre, sir.
Yeah, wait till we
Kinda.
get to Andre. I can't wait to talk about him.
So,
So-
but yes, I gave it a C minus.
All right. So real quick notes. So the Bulldog and Warlord wrestled each other on all 5 WWF pay-per-views in 91.
My God.
Why?
So Rumble, Mania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and then Tuesday in Texas. They wrestled each other in all 5 of those. And
No wonder he didn't look enthused.
It doesn't feel true.
they weren't the only 2 to do that. Do you know who else did that
What?
from this show?
The same year?
Same
Jake
year.
and Rick Martel.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Virgil and DiBiase.
Oh.
The only difference between them and the Bulldog and Warlord is that at the Royal Rumble that year, DiBiase and Virgil were tag partners. That's the only difference. But they still appeared together in a match on all 5 major pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then interesting thing about the Warlord here. So after this show, August 2nd, 1991, so that would have been a few months later, he had a world title match against Hulk Hogan, which is crazy to me. I mean, it makes sense, but like I figured Warlord would have had that way earlier.
In my head, watching this match, I'm like, I'm surprised they didn't put the belt on Warlord instead of Slaughter. That would have been a more Hogan-style main event than a Slaughter.
So he ended up wrestling for like various promotions. He showed up in WCW under a mask, going by like with a team called the Super Assassins.
Do you know why this was?
No.
I used to know. I remember this story, but
So Warlord was one of the guys that had the Lloyd's of London policies or whatever,
that's right.
and cashed his out because he was one of the guys that a Domino's driver hit when they were trying to do the 30 minutes or less, and he got hit into an accident.
I was going to bring that part up.
And he's still working.
Yeah, But that's why he was wearing the mask in WCW, to get around.
Okay.
Because he wasn't legally allowed to wrestle once he took that payout.
So he would go on. Last note about the Warlord, he would go on to become a bodyguard in the early 2000s, and he would be the bodyguard for both 50 Cent and Kimbo Slice, which is just a weird. Yeah.
There's another wrestler who had famous bodyguard people. I can't. Tyrus or whatever his name was. Funkasaurus, whatever his name.
Oh, yeah.
Brodus Clay, yeah.
Bros Clay.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right,
he did. Yeah.
He was Snoop Dogg's bodyguard. That's how he got into the business. Snoop Dogg was, friends with WWE. So.
Crazy.
We then get pre-match promos from Nasty Boys and the Hart Foundation. So the Nasty Boys basically say that they're going to tear down the foundation and take the tag titles. Anvil, in response to this, says, "You say you're going to bring down the foundation. Well, to do that, you got to be at the bottom to crack the foundation, and that's exactly where you are."
So good.
Good line.
guess they're-
Good line.
Spoiler alert, Anvil.
Right. And then Brett says, "You got to have heart,"
He
and
doubled
that's
down
exactly
on it.
what you don't have.
Yeah.
One of my notes
they-
is that the Anvil's a notoriously underrated talker.
I mean, he did talk.
There's another person we worked with. I think every match almost has had someone.
I have no idea why old B Knob and Sack Steady were getting a tag title shot here. I never was a fan of these guys. I didn't really think much there. I mean, they're really like the Nasty Boys were just bumbling henchmen for the most part, like street thug guys, brawlers.
They were just
description.
Transitional to get them from the babyface Heart Foundation
to Legion of Doom.
Babyface Legion of Doom, yeah.
I thought the finish was really, really good, and I did think the Nasty Boys played their part well.
The timing on the cheating and the ref's back was so well done.
Yeah, I mean, also like, and I'm kind of talking myself into almost giving. I'm gonna have Tim give his grade before I do, but I'm almost talking myself into a higher grade here because the false finish was actually really good too.
Yes.
Right. I felt that if the match would have been like 2 or 3 minutes shorter, I would have graded it higher. I just felt like they hit so many camel clutches, so many neck breakers. Like there were just so many of the same moves over and over again that I was like, if they would have just cut some of those out, this would have got a better rating. This also is the first match that the heels do get an entrance to. So in my mind, everything that we saw before them was the prelim card. And this was the start of the actual Mania card since the event went on for so long.
I do find it funny. So they had to have told the Hart Foundation, we're splitting you guys, are going singles. They're like, we have these great marketing ideas. Brett, these are some sweet shades. You're going to wear them out there, give them to the crowd. Anvil, here's your pink beret. Like that was supposed to be his equivalent and get over like the glasses.
Here's your head condom.
What they told them.
Right.
That's like Hogan and George Foreman both had the same agent, and whenever the George Foreman grill, Hogan had first choice and took the blender.
Yeah.
And Foreman got left with the grill. He made billions.
So like,
so you're saying
sunglasses.
So you're saying Anvil had first choice and wanted the beret.
You know who I blame?
Sucker.
If Willie Nelson would have came out wearing an Anvil head condom instead of those Bret Hart glasses,
yep,
things would have been completely different.
The course of wrestling history.
Completely different.
I want to get my grade because I think
go
it's
ahead.
Gonna maybe.
Real quick before you do, did anyone else? So I don't know if it's because the Nasty Boys almost always work like hardcore brawl type matches. Did anyone else notice how fucking weird Jerry Sags moves?
Yes.
Like he doesn't bend. He's like a old like wrestling figure, like one of the rubber ones. Like the dude did not bend his joints.
Oh.
And then I feel
I'd
like
say I'm going to go back and watch it, but that's just a lie.
You don't have to.
And then his partner seems to always bend. Like every bump, he puts his legs up in the air, like he's bending for the whole team.
He always bends. Yeah, Knob's got all the bendiness. All right, so what's your grade for this, Vance?
C+.
What is it?
C+.
Dude, we're still on the same page. I gave it a C+.
I gave it a B.
I almost talked myself into moving up to B as I was talking about
B-. I actually had wrote B-, and then I put C+.
Which is way better than I remember, because I remember not really digging this match, but it might have been the mark in me not liking the Hearts losing.
Well, I kind of.
If you look at this as far as a match getting put together, their timing on all the spots is what gave me this grade because I was like,
Right.
oh, wow, that's perfect. Oh, he's right in, right out, like right in time, ref turn, right as the cheating stopped. It was just well executed.
Jimmy with his
anyway.
creativity too, the different looks he would do. I loved the fucking helmet deal that he did with the Nasty Boys.
Yeah. I was kind of like with Jason on how like the match. I thought like the reason I got a C plus is because for the most part it was just a bit of a slog to get through. But then yeah, that ending like that whole last little bit of the match was just really good.
Yeah,
Check out
I
Chris.
gave it a C. At one point, because there were so many neck breakers, there was a Russian leg sweep that gets hit, and Gorilla says that was a beautiful neck breaker.
Oh,
Like,
I got a
like,
note on
what?
that. The neck breaker. So Bret the Hitman Hart lived my worst nightmare. So anytime someone calls a neck breaker on me, I say, "Do you land on your back or do you
Oh
land on
yeah.
your butt?" Because I'm always worried someone's going to land on their back or their butt, and I'm going to try to back bump it. And that happened to Bret Hart, and he didn't die. So that fear is over with now. But
Well, that's good.
I would keep that fear because that's still a
And
pretty
maybe
legitimate
that's
thing.
the real cause of his post-concussion traumas
Yeah.
later in life.
Draven, what'd you grade this one?
A B.
Okay. So Nasty Boys, they kind of stuck around for a little while, and then they would end up going back to WCW in '93, and then the Hart Foundation, of course, this was it for them. Bret went on to Bret Hart Things, and Anvil went on to form the new foundation, and then did some other things from time to time until he showed up at an ASW show and had to figure out how to turn his phone
or
on.
beat the jugular.
Could not figure out old school entrances where the music just plays and you have to wait in the ring for the announcement.
He
Would
couldn't figure
not
out how
go
to
out
use his
until
flip
somebody could
phone.
explain it.
He was holding the battery and holding his flip phone and saying, "I don't understand. My phone won't come on." And like, well, the battery's in your hand, like. And then,
Yeah.
And then
He
he
was
said, the
in
promoter's
rough
supposed to
shape.
take me back to the hotel, and I don't know where he is. And we're like, he's standing beside you. He's the guy immediately beside you.
Was that our first like time that we saw like one of the older wrestlers like where we were like, oh fuck?
Yeah, maybe.
Because like I know
Probably.
we have a good story, we have a good Virgil story, but like that was just more sad, like in a he's kind of pathetic way. But for
Yeah, maybe.
Anvil, it was like, oh fuck, this is sad, like in a depressing way. Uh, but speaking of things that are not depressing, we get the Rick Martel versus Jake Roberts blindfold match up next.
This might be, mine might be controversial here.
I'll say this might be where me and Vance split
Yeah.
ways.
I have a feeling you guys have the exact same rating again.
We might.
Right.
Really?
Jake, he was definitely, him and Bret Hart were like my two favorite wrestlers as a kid. I fucking love Jake Roberts, and seeing his entrance here reminded me of why, like, Jake had such a fucking presence. Like, he didn't look like hardly anyone else in wrestling, or WWF especially. And just the way he would, like, him walking the ring, I was like, the dude has such an aura about him. I thought this was absolutely.
Let's start with grades. Let's go and just get the grades, and then we'll talk about it.
I graded it a B minus.
Yes.
Wow.
I told you.
Holy shit.
I gave it a C plus, so I'm right there with you guys.
Okay, well that's better than I expected.
I gave it an A.
Ooh.
Oh, is this kind of the point that you started figuring out the match grades?
Yes, I believe
Same
this
here.
is when you guys got the message of there's clearly a difference between what's a 5-star match and what's an A rating for me.
Yeah,
this match
was the match
is
that made me
so
realize
entertaining. That. The crowd work with just the points to get the crowd involved was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the whole match, like even the model grabbing and realizing there's a shirt. Heenan on commentary saying right after that, if he was smart, he would have brought a shirt and put it on. That way Jake wouldn't have known who he was. Or why doesn't he just take the bag off his head? No one's holding it on him. Like the whole match was just so entertaining. And
that's
if at
exactly
this time
entertaining,
this product wasn't geared for our ages, and it was geared for a younger audience, my kids would have eaten this up had we been in the arena and Jake been pointing for, okay, which way do I need to go? Like it was really good. It was really well put together. When the match ended, boom, DDT is what a DDT is supposed to be. That's the end of the match.
Yeah.
So Jason's almost talked me up more, but also Jake buried Rick with that DDT because it was a DDT, and then 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
and not really, but it took a long time.
So I noticed something watching this in the promo before it. Rick Martel is like the best possible version of the Miz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Also,
he would do anything. I mean, the dude was down for whatever. Always made all of his shit count.
He just has the face you want to smack, but like he's good in the ring to back it up.
Yeah.
I also put that Jake has a weird weakness to this cologne because so many people got in the eyes and none of them had the messed up eyes or the blindness. Like that would happen all the time, and no one else went blind but Jake.
And I made the note that that his weird wonky eye, he was doing the Aleister Black gimmick long before, and he was healed the next week.
Yeah.
Like 1 week it's just completely white, and then he shows up at Mania and he's fine. Like now you don't need the bag over your eye. You need the bag if one of you is actually still blind during the time. So that kind of didn't make sense, but
Well, Jake ruined the whole gimmick when he stuck his hand up in there and we see the eye hole.
Yeah.
eye hole.
Right.
Like, Jake, get your hand out of the back.
now at the beginning of the match when they put it on, is that what I said the same
Yes.
thing? Keith just said that once he pulled it down, though, that was over the mouth. And so that was probably so you could talk to the ref and talk to him. But yeah, once they got it moved around, that did go back down under his mouth.
I think I'd like to have a blindfold match.
I mean,
that kind of like a bag on your head or an actual like.
I want to do a blindfold match like with the bag and just do a normal match. People just be like,
all right, these guys are really.
The differences
are really good.
The difference is I'd like to do it one time just to say I did it, but like this is the type of match a J-Rock or a Jock Sampson tries to make their whole career out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I thought it was insane that this match happened at a WrestleMania. Like, it's an insane gimmick to put on a pay-per-view. Like, this is the quintessential house show indie wrestling match. Like, and the only reason like I didn't grade it higher was because I was super impressed. The crowd was like so tuned into what was happening and like playing along. I thought they did it too much. I thought Jake, like, there were too many occasions of doing the same thing over and over again.
I thought about that, but then I thought, well, if the crowd's still with them, do it till they're
Yeah,
back.
I mean, you're right.
So,
yeah. But in the middle of a 26-hour show, it's like, can we fucking wrap it up and get to the next thing, guys? So yeah, me and Tim still right on. Then we get a segment with the Nasty Boys celebrating. Oh yeah, because they beat the Hart Foundation for the tag titles. I don't think we mentioned it was for the Tugboats. Maybe we did, but they're celebrating with the Mountie, Dino Bravo, Earthquake, and Jimmy Hart. I don't know about you guys, but when I see segments like this now, like, because they were all like partying and freaking out, and everybody was like, I think Dino Bravo was like all smiling, Mountie was smiling. All I can think about now is what happens as soon as that camera cuts, and how every one of those guys was like, all right, whatever. Like, where's my shit?
Yeah, right.
There was just so much yelling during that. I couldn't concentrate on what anyone was saying. Like, if we were just supposed to see a celebration, it worked. But if they were supposed to be getting anything over,
I think all they were trying to do was get the champagne in Marlon Maple's eyes. Is what it seemed like their goal was for that whole segment. Then we get the Jimmy Snuka versus the Undertaker match.
The streak starts.
What's that? Oh, the streak
starts. Yeah.
Gorilla says Jimmy Snuka. He says he's the Phenom, Jimmy Snuka. So I think this match was for the rights to that nickname.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
They really buried that part.
I think
the match. I mean, the match. Knowing what we know now about the Undertaker, like, this match served its purpose. But
I put sucked, but as a big part of history.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really hard to like watching these matches with the Undertaker this time, I can't imagine like how difficult it was. Not difficult to put together the match, but like you can't do anything because he's not going to sell anything. So so like the match was what it was. I graded it. I don't know if me and Tim are going to be on the same one this one because this was kind of just like a throwaway C minus.
Oh wow, D plus.
D plus.
We finally missed.
I mean,
I'm only one. I guess only one space from you, but D plus.
Yeah.
I gave it C plus. It was just a well executed squash, basically.
I didn't think it was well executed.
I mean, the C minus was because it was pretty quick.
In the sense that
there was almost
well executed in the sense that the purpose was to get the Undertaker over, and he just squashed the shit out of him, and it got him over.
the crossbody was supposed to be a catch and then throw up to the shoulder and it just got messed up. The Undertaker put him down, punched him a couple times, and then picked him back up. I was like, come on.
The tombstone looked really rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I hope Snuka's doing good today.
In hell.
I gave the match a D, and the only other note from the Taylor household was, God, his makeup is terrible. And is the Undertaker wearing leg warmers? Go back and watch the match again.
They do.
Like the Flash dancer,
his
like
boot covers are.
sock
His
cover
boot covers
things.
just look like 80s leg warmers. Like they were still trying to figure the character out. You got to give him a little bit.
So going back real quick, just real quick little notes about Rick Martel. I forgot to do these, and I think you guys will find these interesting. So apparently, in a shoot interview with RF Video, Martel claimed that him and Don Callis were supposed to debut. Like Martel was supposed to come back to WWF in 1997 with Don Callis as his partner, and they were going to be called the Supermodels. Callis would then betray Martel, which would turn Martel face, but there was a pay dispute with Vince. So
why
Martel
would they
signed.
Already tell them we're going to bring you in as a team?
Right, been as a tag team, and we're going to turn one of you.
Callis would confirm this later during an interview, but it was with WWE.com, so who knows? But then the more interesting thing about Rick Martel's career after this was in 1997, he returned to Canada to team with Don Callis as the Supermodels. And they would feud with a young Edge and Christian, at the time known as Adam Impact and Christian Cage. Then Martel would show up in WCW in 1998. And does anyone remember how fucking good Martel was in WCW at the time?
TV title with Booker T, and he got hurt in that match, and they still went through with it. I watched that here recently.
There was a random ass Rick Martel versus Marty Jannetty match on a Nitro that was a fucking banger during that period.
I remember that. Dude, Martel was fucking great at that time.
He tore his ACL in that match with Booker, and they changed. Martel was supposed to keep the TV title, and they changed it on the fly to Booker winning, and that was it for Martel. It
just shows like how different medicine is now, because he was done from a torn ACL. Now, how many dudes get torn ACLs and are fine? Like I had one, I'm fine. Right. It's not even a big deal anymore.
Well, apparently Martel,
as fine as I ever was.
Like before the WCW stuff even happened, he apparently got into real estate and is pretty successful. So I think probably even if he could have came back from the ACL, he probably was like.
He's already almost 40, I think, by the time he's like 37, 38 in WCW. So,
and unless they're gonna push him for the heavyweight title, he already had a fucking banger of a run, so might as well go out on top and go into real estate. Of course, no need to talk about what happens to the Undertaker after this. And really, for Snuka, this was kind of it. He left WWF soon after. His last match was against Shawn Michaels. He lost to him at the Los Angeles Sports Arena in 1992. So,
you got any Snuka stories?
I do.
Yeah, that's who he's talking to.
Yeah, up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, I went up there.
Hey, now let's keep this on track here.
real quick. So, two things about that show. I was booked. I'm 99% sure because the promoter thought I was Eric Cannon.
I still think.
This is a real story. I thought you were doing a gimmick because you said
this is
a real story.
And Allentown's where all that stuff happened.
Yeah,
No,
and that's
this is
why I
real.
prompted him.
I'm pretty sure the promoter thought I was Eric Cannon because when I arrived, he was confused as to why I was wrestling under the name Cole Cash. But Jimmy Snuka was on that show, and I had a camera. I always took my camera with me, so I had a camera.
Kids before phones didn't have video cameras. You had to take a separate one. That's a
Yeah,
separate thing. Yeah.
they had their own bags, so I had a camera bag, and at the end of the and like Snuka sat across from me directly in the locker room. So at the end of the night, I go to grab my stuff and I check my camera bag to make sure I had everything in my camera bag, and I do not have everything in my camera bag, namely the camera or any of the equipment to go with it. I instead had allegedly cocaine in my camera bag, and uh, about that time, Snuka's handler came running back in the locker room, and I was like, "Hey, I think me and he threw my camera bag to me and snatched Snuka's camera bag and ran out." So yeah, I could have had a lot of cocaine that night if I wanted. If I would have just closed it up, but at the time, there's no way young Cole Cash would have indulged in such things. Uh, I don't know if we get a promo. I can't remember. Was there a backstage? Was anything going on
I didn't take notes
segment
of
wise?
backstage segments really, so only a couple that really stood out.
There was a Macho Warrior promo before the Macho Man match.
Okay.
It just kind of was the backstory of Macho attacking him all over the place at different events.
Okay. So this is where me and Vance Desmond split ways because he's already spoiled what his highest grade was. So
oh my God.
This is where we
Hey,
split ways.
I think this is where you and I converge.
Okay. So this match, Ultimate Warrior versus the Macho King, with Queen Sherry by his side. The fucking production for this match on this show was at a totally different level than the rest of the show. Whoever idea it was to have the Warrior walk out to the ring was genius. Instead of doing his normal run, Savage looking down at Warrior as Warrior stood in the entranceway, like that shot they used, like the whole thing felt so much more important than anything else on this show. The energy and just interaction between the two before the bell even rang was like, this felt different than it, like this was felt like an important match.
Did you know it's WWE's first ever career on the line?
Yeah,
match
which was crazy because they kept saying like, we've never even heard of such a thing. Like I was like, really? Kind of figured that was like a common thing back then.
Right.
Savage, of course, bumps his ass off for Warrior, but Warrior, like, where was this dude? Like, I'm not saying he like went out there and like had a crazy good performance, but he didn't look awful. Like he didn't.
I thought the best Warrior match ever.
That's what. Yeah,
Definitely.
the same thing.
Yep.
Sherry was working her ass off. Like she was putting in the work. The pacing I thought was great.
I have a hot take here. I don't know if it's actually going to be a hot take or if you're going to agree with it. I think if they actually truly wanted to put Warrior over after he beat Hogan, they should not have wasted their time putting him in a Rick Rude feud. He should have went straight into an important feud with Savage.
Yeah, I think so.
I kind of agree. I don't think that's a hot take. Yeah.
Savage versus Warrior in the cage at SummerSlam instead of Rude. I think that would have made Warrior be perceived as a much bigger deal when he beat Savage.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved this match when I was a kid and watched it. I loved this match when I watched it a few years ago, and I fucking love this match now. I gave this match an A+.
Wow.
A+. Oh.
A+. I fucking love everything about it. B-.
There's a segment where Warrior has Savage on all fours, and Savage is looking towards the rope, like in front of him, right? He goes like he's going to do the splash, but he runs perpendicular with him.
Yep.
And I'm like, how?
A lot.
Are you going to,
he doesn't just. Cass said, "Screw this," and he left.
He's like, "How fucking dare you?
Slandered.
How
you hear
fucking
me?
dare you? We can hear you."
You will not slander this match.
I'm not sure what happened. My camera died. Keep talking.
But he runs off the rope. He runs back and forth off the ropes, and then he couldn't have hit the splash anyway. I mean,
I rated this match. So my rating for the match is a B, but the segment was so good the post match was so good that it elevated it all to an A overall.
Okay, there we are.
See, he got the A rating and he's back now. He's like,
And he
finally,
came back.
yeah.
finally.
There was a
Look, when the worst thing the Warrior does in a match is runs perpendicular to somebody, I
Yeah,
count that as a
right.
win.
Yeah.
uh, the beginning of the match. Macho doesn't even want to get in the ring, and he's just climbs up on the apron and just working the crowd. Like his heel work is phenomenal. On the DVD that the Fed released of like the Best of Macho Man or whatever it's called, his first match is some house show or like a garden show maybe against, I want to say, like someone like, I don't know, Brooklyn Brawler. It's definitely against the jobber, but the first like 5 minutes of the match is just him working the crowd and not even caring about the match just to get everyone hating him. The heel work just fantastic. I do think we need more event specific airbrushed gear these days. There is none of that. We're not going to see any of this crazy airbrush. This is more important. Pictures of people's wives on your crotch. Like, we're not going to get any of that kind of stuff anymore. I guess that died with RVD.
Didn't Dolph do something like that for a little while? Didn't somebody here, like, kind of within the last like half decade or so, have like a gimmick where they were doing airbrushed gear? Maybe not.
Maybe.
I didn't. I know you guys are going to disagree with this one. I didn't like kicking out of the 5 elbow drops, but
I was gonna say
I did
this
not
match
like
is
that.
kind of like the first finisher spam match. Like it's
Right.
the oldest version of what Brock Lesnar does these days.
Right.
Yeah.
And by that, if you mean, my note says Warrior took him to Atomic Drop City, bitch, because he hits 5 of 6 atomic drops in a row. I was like, oh, take that, testicles. You came out here with a woman? Screw you.
well, he knew. Warrior had been on so much gear, he was just had testicle envy.
Yeah.
You know.
I kind of get the 5
Warrior,
elbows though, because if Savage really planned on retiring and focusing on commentary like Vince wanted him to, why does he need to protect his finish? He's just burning it down to get the guy over.
but how pretty was each of those 5 elbows, though?
They were good.
They looked so beautiful. Warrior also went to the ropes at one point, which had resulted in a face bump because he also was not sure what to do on the ropes. It was a continued theme. I like that the ref bumped like a cartoon character. He went completely rigid, backflipped, and put his legs on the ropes.
Jerry Sags.
And I gave the match an A also.
Draven,
Wow.
what was your rating?
I gave it a B, but I was elevated to an A by all the post match and all the theatrics.
I do
I mean,
love
the
the post
post-
match with Liz. Yeah.
The post match stuff is just one of the best moments in wrestling history.
At one point during the match, Macho grabs a hold of Warrior's front of his gear to pull him into the turnbuckle, and apparently we almost get to see a penis because that's what I was alerted to by the person I was watching the show with. We almost saw a penis, and I was like, "Honey, calm
Vance,
down."
you didn't have to say that to him. I'm just saying.
Well,
Yeah, I was like,
You should
"Listen,
know.
if you show your wife Savage's WCW stuff, you'll see a lot more of that because he uses that spot a lot. There's quite a few guys that you will see their dicks.
I use that spot too, and I worry about that. I pull.
This led to a conversation about wearing compression shorts under your gear at our household. When Warrior can't figure out why he can't keep him down, he starts looking at his hands.
I put that too. Yeah.
He was like, "We are witnessing a complete psychotic break of this guy. Like, he was not this character earlier in the match, but now he's like questioning why he can't do it." And she said, "Who is he calling on? The power of Zeus?" And I was like, "With Warrior, who the hell knows? Very possibly."
I thought Warrior looked at his hands forever.
Well, he was searching for answers. This match had dramatic themes to it. It was
It was an A+ match.
My final note
I
for
gave
this
it an A,
match
though.
was that Donald Trump stared up at Randy Savage with the same loving eyes that he stared at Zoran Mamdani with. He was...
And then he started dressing like Savage Fry. Remember that? He had the sparkly gun.
Dude, he could not take
That's
his
where
eyes
the
off
hair
Randy
came
Savage.
from. That's where the hair came from. He's trying to build Randy Savage's hat.
Solid theory. Solid.
Maybe.
Need some sparkles though.
So
some hair, firm press hair, maybe some glitter.
As Vance says, sparkle it up a little bit.
So, special note for the show here. I paused it after this match to go get something else to drink, and when I saw that I was only barely halfway through, I wanted to walk into the fucking ocean.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Nick.
I felt like... Go ahead.
The next segment made me want to walk into the ocean.
I felt like the show was booked as... Like, this kind of goes back to what Jason was saying, where the show didn't really feel like it started until a certain match. I felt like the show was booked as two separate shows. So, like... But they just did the same... Basically the same show twice, but replaced the main events. Like, the main events were switched. But it was just mostly a bunch of bullshit. Big match. Then we went back to a bunch of jobbers and shit. Then big match. Like, it was very much two parts of a show.
Yes, this easily could have been the end of night 1 of Mania if they were doing 2 nights.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I feel like this was the first time Vince was like, we can do 2 nights.
Speaking of Vince, let me cover this next segment as someone who hates football. So football's awful. We'll get that out of the way first. They debate about the instant replay in the NFL.
Oh, you're watching the version that we don't get here.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get to see any of this.
Oh, man, you guys missed out. So there's a whole...
You're going to make me watch this whole show again?
There's a whole video debate about instant replay.
I remember it from memory, but it wasn't part of the version we got.
Yeah, in the NFL. So they have some dude from the NFL and some other dude who's a sports talk guy at the time, and Vince McMahon going flashing between videos like a Zoom interview and talking about it, and should they bring it to the WWE? And the sports commentary guy said it takes too long to review. They should do it in 60 seconds. And if the referees can't do it in 60 seconds, they should be fired. And it cuts to Vince McMahon, who says, and I quote, "What do you mean fired? Like from his job?"
And that's what started the Mr. McMahon character. He found out you could fire people.
He was all Paul. What do you mean fired? And he does it all dramatic from his job and gets in close to the screen. I'm like, what in the... I actually wrote, what in the fuck?
So, Tim, if you've learned anything from this, moving forward, watch the pay-per-views on Peacock.
No,
and you don't have to sit through
No. We need this. We need this extra bonus content. We got up next. We got a Demolition promo where
we got so many promos.
Yeah,
we did get a lot of it was like a resetting of the show because they also re-aired the logo and everything. That's why it felt like
this is if you're young, you don't know this, but this is where they would do intermission on pay-per-views.
Yeah,
they'd actually take a 20 or 30 minute break with nothing happening, just like at an indie show.
Mine came up and said intermission, said 5 minutes on the pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was cut out. It came up and it started counting in like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 59 seconds, and then it went away. And the promo started.
So if they were going to dedicate time, though, to this instant replay thing, like, wouldn't that have came into effect at some point at the show? Like, if they were going to do this, shouldn't they have had some match where, like...
specific instance they were referring to?
No, and then they talked about maybe the WWF should institute instant replay or whatever, and they talked about.
I bet it was just they had a celebrity booked because it was Mania, and that was the only thing they could think of to do is just a pre-tape with them talking about instant replay.
You guys don't know his name. I'm looking it up right now, but go ahead.
Well, Bob Costas was supposed to be one of the celebrities, but he refused to appear when they did the Iraq stuff.
All right.
But at the time, though, like, this would have been around the time when, like, I'm pretty sure it was one of those so many years we get in the NFL where the instant replay is a big debate.
Montana. On that. So when I Googled it, that was banned from WWE Network and Peacock. They took the segment off. Jorn Steinbrecher and Paul McGuire were the two people.
George Steinbrecher is the owner of the Yankees. That's baseball.
Yes.
And Mark McGuire is a baseball player.
It is baseball, it was baseball, but they were talking football. They did mention he was the owner of the Yankees, now that you say that.
None of that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's why they banned it.
And they were clearly doing a script too, because these guys aren't actors and they clearly have points and they were getting artificially upset at each other was like the thing.
What did it get banned for?
I guess like I don't know, they didn't have the rights to it, or let me see what it says. I'll read the news story. Hang on.
Yeah, that's weird. Of all the things to get banned
Steinbrenner,
from
I didn't hear the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Don McGuire, Dan McGuire,
No, now I gotta go back. Hang on. Paul McGuire.
Paul McGuire.
He was a sports talk analyst. It says NFL. He was NBC's NFL analyst.
Okay.
Maybe that guy had some sort of something come out? Like, I don't know why it would be banned.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Or Steinbrenner was so embarrassed by it that he gave WWE a shitload of money to get rid of it. Well, Tim looks for that. So we get a Demolition promo and a bunch of other promos, but the Demolition one especially, where they're talking about their upcoming match with Tenryu and Katao, and Mr. Fuji says, and I quote, so I'm quoting Mr. Fuji.
Oh, no.
He says, he uses the term Jap opponents, which
oh my god,
was this show. This show had a very overarching theme of racism throughout it, like all past wrestling shows. But then I remembered that because at first I was like, "That's a odd thing for a Japanese manager." Then I was like, "Wait, I think Fuji was actually Hawaiian, right? Or like Samoan? He wasn't actually Japanese, right?
I think he was actually Japanese. Yeah.
Okay.
But he probably classified himself as American and didn't like.
Yeah.
And thought that was a good way to get heat.
The match with Tenryu and Katao was.
So my only note for because there was Undertaker and Regis, then we had Trebek and Demolition, then we had the Tenryu and Regis, then we had Jake and Trebek all in one. Like it just kept going from one to another. And my only note was, this is super racist, and this seems like a very bad SNL skit. Yeah. Like, that was my whole note, but it was just like 5 promos in a row. You didn't get any of that, Tim? You didn't get to see any of those promos?
No, I saw.
No, he gets bonus content.
Okay, you got just the bonus content.
I think on the Coliseum videos, because they would have to separate them into 2, they didn't want to have like 30 minutes on one tape, so they would fill it with other shit. That's probably the version he got.
So I don't have any notes for this match.
The only note I have for this match is, did they take the cool Demolition music away when Axe left, or did they have to dub over?
Oh, I did have that note too. The music,
the cheesy fucking Demolition heel music they used.
I accidentally found out not only was this one of Demolition's last match, it's their last televised match ever.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Axe had been gone for 5 months at this point.
My only note was, so again, the front row is empty. Were they just bringing sponsors out for like one random match and then just sending them to the back again?
They still do that now. They just do it on the opposite side behind.
On the opposite side. It was very distracting because there was suddenly just no one there at all. And then, depending on what Cash has to tell us about what comes out of this match, I was not expecting the Japanese team to go over. And if it led to nothing, then why?
No,
well,
I mean,
we'll get into that.
Tenryu was the owner of SWS, and they had a partnership with them. So they were keeping them strong because they were literally paying to bring over all the WWF guys for every show they did in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you guys ready? So they're saying it's banned because it was terrible. So it's just Mark's working. But actually, it was 10 minutes long.
Holy shit. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean,
apparently.
I had it on.
He thought we did too.
When this was going on, I was like getting a drink and like I wasn't paying that much attention because I was like, let's let this go through. I was like, it's still going. But yeah, I didn't realize it was 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
That's
when you were talking about
it was followed up by a match that was 4 minutes.
Yeah, right.
I was imagining like a 2-minute segment at most.
Well, as this news story phrased it, 10 WrestleMania minutes, which are longer than regular. It's apparently so.
Well, we're gonna take a one WrestleMania second break. I guess would be the time, and we'll be right back with our rating, our grade for Demolition and Tenru and Katao, and then a little bit of the SWS info. So we'll be right back.
Does your cat make too much noise? Did you invent kit mittens to get it under control? Well, this would be the best place to advertise. The Gang Breaks Kayfabe podcast is actively looking for new sponsors. If you're interested, shoot us an email at thegangbreakskayfabe@gmail.com. Reach a wider audience. Support a bunch of idiots.
There's an important thing about this match and Regis in the back. Why did he pinch the Japanese wrestler's cheeks? He tried to talk to him. He's like, you don't speak English. And then he just pinched their cheeks, which he doesn't know that could have got him killed. But
Then
That's why.
they seem to enjoy it though. They seem happy about Regis doing that. Yeah, this was more of the good old racisms where he didn't until he started saying Suzuki and Toyota. They didn't.
Yeah.
So the match, I don't. Looking at my grade for this, I don't really know why I gave it this. Like I feel like it should have been lower, but I gave it a D minus.
I get F.
I gave it D.
F.
I'm feeling
F.
like F was a better way to go.
So I'm the high voter with a D? Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just like I forgot Tenru, and again SWS was happening, but like Demolition
didn't
just
sell.
looked like such jobbers.
My only other note for this is just the word useless. Because it's useless being on this show.
Jason, would you grade it?
Oh, it's an F.
F. Okay.
Like they held him to do the whatever their finisher's called.
Mhm.
Okay. The knee drop off the top, whatever. And he's just holding him and holding him and holding him. And then, all right, we're not holding him. All right, finish the other way. Match is over. Like, what?
They didn't sell at all either.
No. So yeah, this was due to a partnership between WWF and SWS. And yeah, like Draven said, the SWS was paying to bring a lot of the American performers over to Japan for joint shows. After this match, Tenru would have his final match for SWS in June of '92, and then he would go on to create Wrestling and Romance, the war promotion. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I thought Wrestling and Romance was the coolest name for wrestling promotion of all time because it just made no sense, and I thought it was
I had
awesome.
a bunch of their DVDs.
Basically, War became Tenru's way to wrestle all the top wrestlers from other promotions. This included Onita, Takada, the Great Muta, Shinya Hashimoto, and Masahiro Chono, all of whom he defeated.
Japanese
And
Jerry Lawler.
yeah, and he also traded victories with Tatsumi Fujinami and Antonio Inoki, becoming the only Japanese wrestler to defeat both Inoki and Giant Baba by pinfall. Which, when you're booking yourself, I mean that you can do those kind of things.
Right.
Katao
Congratulations.
Katao's a very interesting. He has a very interesting backstory and everything. Like
Crash out.
So he was he was a sumo wrestler. He became a Yokozuna, but like had a shitty attitude. Wasn't that great really. He ended up like physically abusing some of like the young boys that were with him, which got him dismissed as a Yokozuna and kind of like shamed. So he turned to wrestling. On April 1st, 1991, Katao was booked
Right
against. Right after this, he was booked against Earthquake, John Tenta, who also was a former sumo. This was a joint SWS and WWF show. Katao was booked to lose, and he broke kayfabe by completely no-selling anything Tenta threw at him. He stalled during the match, legitimately attempted to gouge John Tenta's eyes out. It became kind of an awkward shoot fight. Katao attempted to throw a table at Earthquake from outside the ring. after Tenta basically started shouting at him, Cataldo got in the ring, kicked the referee, was disqualified. Afterwards, he picked up the microphone and announced that wrestling was fake and that John Tenta could never really beat him. And other Japanese wrestlers had to restrain Tenta because he was going to murder Cataldo, basically.
Huh.
I'm surprised that
Yeah,
hasn't happened more often, honestly.
yeah. So he would then he would continually kind of do this shit where he had a bit of an ego and it would keep leading to him being gotten rid of from places. Demolition, they worked the WWF SWS WrestleFest. Then they continued to wrestle in SWS throughout the summer. Crush went on a leave of absence. Smash wrestled in singles matches for a time. Then he left. He came back as Repo Man, and Crush came back as Kona Crush, and the two would actually face off at SummerSlam '92 with
There's
Crush
another
getting the
one I loved
victory.
was that version of Crush when I was a kid. I love that version of Crush.
The DOA version of Crush?
No, the when
Oh,
the
The
palm
Hawaiian
trees
a
Crush.
little
and
bit of paint
Hawaiian
here.
Crush. Well, WrestleMania 9 was the newest tape I had access to, so I
Oh,
watched it a
Ah.
lot. And so
uh, did you get any bonus content?
He left.
sorry, just
I don't
grab a
know if
new
we got a
drink.
promo. I don't know if we got any backstage promos. Like I'm sure there was
Let
a
me
build
see if
up
I
for Perfect and Boss Man.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
both had backstage
there was a
promos.
promo.
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, because Perfect. Yeah. Uh, so Boss
They
Man and Mr.
they were
Perfect.
very sweaty.
Yeah.
Like they also had the Coke sweats before the match. That's my note for the promos.
So this is for the Intercontinental title, which Mr. Perfect held at the time. Um, my I noticed in this match. So there's a part in the match where like as part of wrestling psychology, one of the things is you really don't want to throw a punch during a match uh, unless it means something. Like because it's kind of one of those things
Oh,
where go ahead.
there's something promo you forgot. Bobby Heenan put over the LAPD for beating Rodney King.
Yeah, he
Oh
did.
yeah,
Racism. Yes.
that happened.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so like you really try not to throw punches in wrestling because like that should be whatever. Like it's kind of one of those things where they make them mean something. Boss Man punches Mr. Perfect 3 times in rapid succession in the corner, and they are like such because Boss Man has good punches, and these ones especially looked like 3 punches that should kill anyone. And Perfect like doesn't even really register them for a guy that is like one of the greatest sellers of all time. He doesn't really sell these punches at all, and Boss Man lights him up with 3 of them, and then just grabs him and like uh hurls him across the ring. It was a really weird, like Perfect not selling them.
The hair Beal that Boss Man does when he's got him by the hair and does the spin with Perfect, man, that looked good.
Yeah,
I was like, that had to be hard to do and not actually rip your hair out. Like Perfect has to have such a good grip. That looked great. In the towel throw at the beginning, and that Boss Man caught it perfect. Didn't even have to move, just caught it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is so far so good.
I thought this match was really, really solid until everything at the end.
Yeah.
With Andre and Haku and Barbarian, and it becoming a DQ. Like, I thought it was a really fucking solid match between these two. I was
So
leaning towards like a B. I was going like B plus almost. Then all that shit happened. So I ended up dropping this down and gave it a grade of a C plus,
ooh, C
Wow.
minus.
C minus.
I gave it a C, and I thought Andre moved pretty well because I thought at this point he was already on the crutches, so him not having crutches was kind of a surprise to me.
I think them putting Jeff Hardy out there when he was messed up, putting Andre out there who could barely walk. Why would they do that? Like,
Because he
Yeah,
wants
like
the
my
all the
note
payday.
was I
shots,
They're doing it to get him a payday because he wants the payday. So they're
right. I
the
felt
belt
bad
shot
for
he gives
Andre for
him.
having to be out there, but yeah, he was definitely moving better than I thought he would be at that point. Um, I felt the same way. I would have given the match a B, but then all the stuff at the end just made it sloppy. Like even with um Bossman goes to throw Barbarian, but Andre reaches in and grabs Barbarian's leg right when he's trying to Irish
Yeah.
whip him. It's like, well,
That was just their
what?
tag move. They had coordinated. It was just a very
Oh.
slick tag
Yeah.
transition.
And the camera, so the production on the other mat with Macho was really good. They were watching Andre go around the ring and grab the belt and completely missed Bossman hit that turnbuckle.
Yeah.
That was exposed.
That was
Just
exposed.
completely. And so then it was just like, oh, okay. I do think again this is one of those matches Ziggler watched to learn how to sell. Because I mean him, like you said, him and Perfect are genetic matches. But yeah, I gave the match a C after all the shenanigans at the end. It dropped it down what could have been a lot better match.
Also, why'd they let Bossman take his belt off and use it as a weapon? Isn't that a DQ? And then Perfect used it. And I'm like, what is that's a weapon.
I think technically the kayfabe rule is if it's part of your gear, it's legal.
I need to wear Nux.
I need to wear a gun.
Just have a machete sewn onto my pants so I can use it in the match.
There's a part where Bossman's on his knees with like his feet behind him, and Perfect gives him a neck breaker, and Bossman can't bump that.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just like that falls over his. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, the stuff with Andre really made me realize how much smarter it is for them to like put guys in the crowd now. Like if they're gonna do like a lot of guys now, like will have like guys that aren't like active wrestlers that are doing run-ins. You'll have guys that are like at ringside and like they get involved in the match somehow that way. Because like that would have been great if Andre was just at ringside already and did this.
As compared to him laboring down the aisle with us watching.
Yeah.
They should have had those WrestleMania 3 carts just for him to get him down there.
I mean, it was like a Hawaiian shirt.
He does what he wants.
Where do you think Mac got the Tommy Bahama thing from Fat Mac season?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it would have made a lot more sense for Bossman, like for Andre's involvement. I don't understand why it didn't lead to Bossman winning the title here. Because you would have had like a year in the making where Heenan slapped Andre and Andre turned face. Reason. What's the reason?
Because there's still a house show business at that point, and the chase of Bossman trying to win the belt is going to sell more tickets to the house shows.
Okay. But they could do like the next house show, have Perfect win the belt back, and then you get right back to it.
All right.
Like Andre's inclusion really
but then he's already completed the goal, so you can't do the house show run afterwards. Because why is like getting the belt back? Is it the same as?
Don't make points that are valid.
Sorry.
We try never to.
I hate that.
That's the only rule we live by on this show. Never make valid points.
Yeah, it's just rude and disrespectful.
Right. Talk all the nonsense you want.
Then we get before the next match, we get to meet a lot of celebrities that are at ringside, including.
Look at my. So you can see my note here. Wait, there it is.
Trump. Grow up.
Faces.
Throw up. Yes.
Mine is exactly the same. It says Trump. Gross.
We get Donald Trump, Chuck Norris, Henry Winkler, and Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno legitimately has peanut butter in his mouth like a dog, I think.
Yeah, they said full of crackers is what Bobby Heenan said. First of all, he has a speech impediment, sir.
But that leads us, unfortunately, to Earthquake versus Greg Valentine. Oh, wait, real quick. Bossman, he ended up going to WCW, came back to WWF. Perfect would kind of turn... Yeah, I forgot that he had... So, like, Bobby Heenan retired as a manager and introduced the coach as Henning's manager. I forgot about that, even though it's, like, a part of one of the best matches ever. Henning had a rival with British Bulldog, suffered a back injury. He started... So, like, he was going to be wrestling Bret Hart. And in the meantime, at house shows... in the meantime, when he would wrestle, he really couldn't do the Perfect Plex because of his back. So he started doing a gimmick where he would just throw dudes out of the ring. Like, he'd beat the shit out of them and throw them out of the ring and get count-out wins. Like, which is a really smart way. He would have a broken tailbone and bulged disc, force him to retire from the ring. But he would come back in November of 91, not too long after his retirement as Flair's executive consultant, and then he returned to the ring in 1992. So, and then he would go on.
WCW, then 97, back to
country music
WWE.
career.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
A successful country music
he
career.
wrote one of the greatest country songs of all time.
And then again, what's crazy, he was in the Fed in 02, was in the Final Four of the Rumble in 02,
Yeah.
which is just an odd.
I was marking so hard for that.
It was cool.
Well, even looking at the post WrestleMania 7 stuff for him, he still had I forgot just how he was featured in WWF from then until he left. Really, I forgot how big of a part of WWF he was still.
We just had a Mr. Perfect. Every once in a while, I'll get on a wild thing where I'm like, Fee needs to know about this wrestler. We had a Mr. Perfect one, and we watched a couple. We watched Brett, him and Brett, of course, the match, and then we watched. They had a match in WCW on Nitro, and we watched it too, where Perfect did. I mean, they tried to do the same things, but it was just not as good. Like when Perfect gets thrown by his hair and he slides into the post, they did it again, but Perfect kind of missed and had to readjust.
Yeah.
And then the kick where he sells or whatever, that didn't look as good. It was just a lesser version of that. But
so after the parade of celebrities, Henry Winkler excluded from that because he is a legit celebrity. We get Earthquake versus Greg Valentine.
Why is this here? I don't get it. I don't get
only
it.
Note,
Omega, my only note is why. The word
Yeah.
why.
Also, why the
only
fuck
note-
is Greg Valentine so strong in this match? It's fucking Earthquake, who I guess is on the way down after his big feud with Hogan, but you still want to keep him fucking hot.
Now,
of all people, Greg Valentine's getting that much in
Valentine
him.
dominated this match.
Also,
I had a
babyface
couple
Greg
notes.
Valentine.
Yeah.
So Hammer took the Earthquake to Elbow City, bitch, because he was like, "Let me hit you with 10 elbows in a row." Which is weird because if he's using the figure 4 as his finish, why is he only working the head and the neck the entire match until he gets him down? And it's like, oh, well.
Why is he here?
Well, and then the figure 4 doesn't work.
He's obviously thinking that because Earthquake doesn't wear knee pads, his knees are sufficiently hurt to begin with.
And I only want to see heel Hammer using the shin guard when he goes to do the figure 4. The fact that he didn't have that on and hit it, I was like, it's not the same. You got to have the extra prop there.
We know how Omega feels about people who show their knees in public. So
yeah.
Oh,
Cover
and
those
for the
things
record,
up.
I also have the note that says, "Why did this match happen?"
Wow.
Yeah, we're all like, why?
My only note for this is that I graded it an F+.
Yeah, me too. Plus.
I have D. It's a D.
But the following on that was this some sort of retribution from Rhythm and Blues Fallout? And so Jimmy Hart brought Earthquake to fight him? Why? Oh, and I gave it an F. So
okay. F for Jason, F+ for me and Vance, and then you did a D minus?
D.
A D. Only little notes on Earthquake and Greg Valentine. After this whole thing, Earthquake would go on to then have a feud with Jake Roberts where he made snake burgers after crushing Jake's snake, Damien.
I'd try it. I'm not going to lie.
He would begin a team with Typhoon, forming the Natural Disasters. He left WWF in 94, went to WCW, as so many more before him
Greg
did.
Valentine started working backyard shows. I mean, it's a while later, but he did.
Greg Valentine, after the 92 Rumble, finished his run with the company, defeating Skinner at a house show.
Ugh.
And
Skinner's everyone quits the company. They're like, if I can wrestle Skinner, I'm out.
And he then joined WCW in 1992. So I
believe he's still WCW 6-man tag champion currently.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Up next, we get Legion of Doom versus Power and Glory, and we have a promo with Legion of Doom where
the match.
Hawk says,
"Say it,
say it, do it.
You'll be sour and gory." So he got him.
Power and Glory, sour and gory. Oh man, that's A+ material.
Sick.
I thought he's talking about Jason Gorey and Larry Sweeney teaming up.
Yeah,
together.
I think so.
My only note was sour and gory. Good.
I didn't even rate this match. I didn't grade it. I gave it an incomplete. I was trying to figure out what the equivalent of like not getting a grade at all is, and I thought incomplete.
I just gave it a C because it was a fine squash. It was
D
there.
minus.
D minus.
So here are my questions, not my notes. My questions. So were Power and Glory on their way out? Hercules just stood there and watched the finish.
Yeah, he watched the pin.
And why was this on Mania and not just a random Superstars taping? I gave it an F.
So, according to so the reason why the match was very quick was because Paul Roma had an elbow injury, which you could have just put then any other team in this match.
And so he's the one that took all of it while Hercules was on the outside. So makes sense.
According to Paul Roma, he said that the quick loss was his idea because of the elbow injury.
Get paid for WrestleMania payday.
There was a lot of dudes on this show who did not deserve a payday at all. Roma's final match in WWF would come later on a European tour where Power and Glory were defeated by the Rockers in Paris. Roma left the Federation at that time and went to WCW. Roma also said, he became the worst member of all time of the Four Horsemen. And that list includes Steve McMichael being in the Four Horsemen, and Paul Roma is still the worst horseman ever. He also said, which this is just in no way can this be a true statement. I mean, I might have to reread the book to see if I missed this, but according to Paul Roma, Bret Hart told him that Power and Glory were the best tag team he's ever seen. Now, I don't believe that Bret Hart would say that the Hart Foundation was not the best tag team he's ever seen. So I say that one's debunked.
Yeah, well, here's another debunking. There's no way the money for security was the reason they changed buildings, because they could have just taken Andre off the show or this match and paid 100 security guards with that money.
Or Tornado and
like how much do they make? That's a $50,000 match, probably.
Plenty of options.
Now,
we haven't even got to some of the options yet we could have gotten rid of.
Now the Legion of Doom, they would win the titles from the Nasty Boys, I think at SummerSlam. So Hawk left the company in 92 because he was disgusted with the Rocco gimmick that they had, the dummy that Paul Ellering had.
The dummy?
The dummy's name.
Apparently that's the reason he left. But he also went AWOL in London after the SummerSlam 92 event, and him and the Berserker missed a flight back to the U.S. Animal stuck around WWF to finish out the contractual obligations. He would team with Crush. Animal left WWF a few months later because of a back injury. Hawk would go to New Japan, form a team with escaping my mind.
The Power Warrior.
Power Warrior. But then in 96, Animal would return after recovering, and the Road Warriors would return to WCW. And I will say, as somebody who did a wrestling podcast in the past as well, where we would do Mystery Science 3000 style watch-alongs, the Road Warriors coming back in 96 got a huge fucking pop for me at the time of the rewatch. They were badass for like a minute in WCW, but then I think just alcohol and shit was a problem, and they didn't really do anything.
So everybody remembers that run and remembers the WWF run they had right after it. Who remembers their 2000. TNA run?
I vaguely remember. And was Hawk in there too?
Yeah. They did one match.
I, for some reason, remember Animal in TNA, but I don't remember Hawk. That's weird.
Wasn't it like a 4 teams or something, if I remember right?
I think it was just a one tag match. I forget who the opponents were, but
New Age Outlaws, maybe?
No.
I'll look it up while we talk.
Did Animal go back to TNA at one point by himself?
No, he went back to WWE at one point with Heidenreich.
Okay.
Heidenreich.
Yeah. Hercules, the rest of his career at WWF would be just as a jobber. His last televised WWF match was against Sid Justice at Madison Square Garden, where he was squashed in under a minute. He took a power bomb from Justice, and then no sold the move by immediately getting up after the 3 count and just not selling at all and walking straight to the back. He
So
then
here's
signed.
Do you want to go to Road Warriors TNA?
Yeah,
then?
go ahead.
So they did not have a single full match in TNA, as the Road Warrior Animal only competed in a singles one-off match in 2007 to fill in for Scott Steiner. This match was against a tag team of Booker T and a partner, while Animal believed it was a business mistake not to have them win the championship and eventually drop it to Steiner. Match itself was the only one they had in the company. So I guess it wasn't Hawk. I thought Hawk was there too.
Hawk was there in 03. It was back in the Asylum days.
This is 07 they're talking about, so maybe it's, let's see.
So Hercules would sign with WCW, but he would don a mask as well and be the Super Invader,
What?
Oriental
ninja.
an Oriental assassin under the management of Harley Race. And by the end of 1992, he had left WCW. So,
and then
Weird.
formed a team with Scott Norton to be the manliest tag team of all time in New Japan.
Yes, very true. Up next, we have the $1 Million Man versus Virgil. Virgil accompanied by Roddy Piper. Tim, do you have bonus content?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do want to say that Virgil was so over.
Yeah.
My God, I did not expect that.
This match was, I forgot how fucking over dramatic the stuff with Piper was. And,
Virgil was over until the bell rang.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question, so Virgil had no music, right? Piper came out the music, but Virgil has none. And do you think that he saw Piper at Mania against Bad News Brown and was like, this is the guy I want in my corner? He's a man who understands my plight. Do you think that's where this came from?
True story. This is the first of 32 straight WrestleManias that Virgil main evented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Virgil
I knew
told
his
me.
streak started this night. I couldn't remember who it was for.
Yeah. I mean, that is according to Virgilpedia, but that's the biggest source we have for that. I gave this match a D. Like, I probably should have been I hated this match.
I gave it a D. It went on way too long. Way too
Yeah.
long. And I don't get why
gave it an
Piper
F
was
minus.
so I don't get why Piper was so weak in this. Like, why did he purposely look like a senior citizen getting knocked down and couldn't get up?
It's just he's never had a knee brace on before, and he had no clue what the hell to do. I did love the way he used the crutch to pull the rope down instead of just using it to hit him. I did like that.
That was cool.
I loved him jabbling the crutch into the referee's dick. I thought that was hilarious.
As someone who spent some time around a boxing gym, why they would make that Virgil's gimmick that he's a boxer when his punches look like he's doing like some sort of back fist thing instead of an actual punch.
Well, him and Shane McMahon trained at the same boxing.
Is that what it was?
So, yeah.
And I mean, DiBiase was busting his ass to make it look as good as he could. So credit where it goes. So it ends with a count out, and Virgil's celebrating like he won the $1 million belt or like got chicken nuggets or something. Like, this was your emancipation from your slave owner.
Oh,
like,
God.
Easy.
And that isn't what this. I thought that's what the promo package was leading us up to. He was all like, "Rub my toes."
But you're not supposed to say
boy.
it. It's just supposed to be implied.
Oh,
It's the implication.
it's the implication. And then you get Sherry coming out. So she's like, I don't want to be with Macho anymore because he lost his match. Instead, I want to be with DiBiase because he lost his match.
But he still has
Virgil,
money in the
nonetheless.
belt.
It's money. It's money.
Yeah. So I think this story would have been a lot better if they would have went through the whole thing of like Piper trying to get Virgil to realize that, he's a man, and that he doesn't need DiBiase, and like Virgil gets all hyped up, and then right as the bell rings, Virgil and DiBiase both turn and just beat the absolute shit out of Piper. And then Virgil will be like, "Yeah, I'm a man, but I also get paid really well by this guy." And then you could have a
Right.
Piper DiBiase thing, like because this really did. I mean, DiBiase and Virgil would have a match. I think DiBiase
Apparently
or
for a
Virgil
while.
won the $1 million title, but it really never did it. Like, it never went anywhere.
Right. And that was my last question and where does any of this lead to? Why?
Nowhere.
Well, it
Nowhere.
leads to August 25th, 1995, Jason, because on that night,
4 years later,
Virgil competed in the National Wrestling Conference on a supercard called Night of Champions. The match was Virgil against the opponent named The Thug, who came out to the ring dressed in a KKK hood. The Thug was accompanied by another man dressed in a full KKK outfit.
Did
who
one of
revealed
them?
himself,
Did one of them have a pink beret on underneath?
who revealed himself as none other than pink hat condom wearing Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Both men attacked Virgil, with Neidhart rolling the KKK rope into a noose and hanging Virgil on the ropes.
Virgil had some good stories in his career, didn't he? Fuck.
And it would later lead to Virgil calling wrestling promoter Richard Hartman 7 times on the way to a show in Fairmont, each time negotiating his payday down lower for a show that he was never even booked on, until ultimately he agreed to just be able to show up and set up a merch booth and sell Polaroids.
And Arvin still said no.
And Arvin still said no.
Rocky Reynolds said yes once he got to $0 and brought him in, and it ruined his show.
And then Virgil came into our locker room and proceeded to tell us all that the WrestleMania main eventer was here. So thank you, Virgil, for the Fairmont 45 people sellout. In '96, he would debut as Vincent in WCW as the 5th member of the NWO. DiBiase goes on to form Money Inc. with Erwin R. Shyster. And I am 42 years old, and I just realized today, as I was doing the final research, that Shyster is a very offensive thing for him to be called with that gimmick.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you first realized that the initials IRS.
IRS.
No, I was reading that and I was like, oh, they fucking called him Shyster? Jesus, that is racist. I never really even thought it through that much. He would then go on to form the $1 Million Corporation from 94 to 96, managing the IRS, Bam Bam Bigelow, Nikolai Volkov, Kama, King Kong Bundy, Sid, 123 Kid, Tatanka, and the real Undertaker. And then he would, in 96, bring in a young up-and-comer known as the Ringmaster, who carried the $1 Million belt, and would go on to become kind of a big deal.
And then defraud the government.
Then defraud the government.
No, that was his son.
Allegedly.
Do you know the reason he left the company?
Jesus.
One point I feel like I did, but I don't remember.
I did not know this till today. He left the company because Vince decided that he wanted managers to start going on the road for house shows.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
DiBiase was like, fuck that, I'm not doing it. DiBiase and Jim Cornette were, like, at the time, like, the managers or whatever. They were the only house shows they would do were Madison Square Garden, the Meadowlands Arena, and Nassau Coliseum. But Vince wanted them to start going to every house show. And DiBiase was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that shit. Then we get the Mountie versus Tito Santana in another why the fuck is this happening match. Again, my only note for this is that it gets an F.
Before that, we had a Slaughter promo where he just kept saying Pucomaniacs, and everyone again was so sweaty. I feel like I know we were watching it live, like it would have been live, but I'm like, clearly these were taped after the match because there is no reason for these guys to be this sweaty. Or 20 minutes at least before they're going out.
Or the big lights that are shooting on them, and they're in a shitty older building that may not have AC.
Well, it could be. This is when
in LA.
Slaughter first says that we need to take a look at some of his new rules, and then they literally do not mention any of his rules.
Oh no. They do talk about the new rules. We'll get into that.
But during the promo, he was like, "I created my new rules."
I think for time's sake, we can say Mountie, Tito Santana, F. Okay.
Yeah. No, wait a second. I had some notes.
Then get to it, boy.
I mean, it's an F, but apparently the atomic drop in WWE 91 was like a Canadian destroyer in AEW 23. And this was not even just a squash. This was a Y. Just Y.
My only note for Jacques Rougeau is that he basically booked himself to beat then WCW champion Hollywood Hogan in 1997. And he would say that it was because Hogan wanted to put him over out of respect for the Rougeau name. But Kevin Owens would later be on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast, and Rougeau is the one that trained Owens. And Owens said that Rougeau paid Hulk an additional $10,000 to lay down and lose. So, and it wasn't a WCW show. So
I would have thought it would have been much more to get a loss out of Hogan.
So Hogan was like, "Yeah, whatever. No one's going to watch this. No one cares." Yeah. So then we get the main event.
We get a Hogan promo where he talks about the new technology Hogan, the new technology Hulkster of 91, which I guess is like a RoboCop thing. I don't know, because he doesn't give any detail.
That promo.
Then he says it's going to be Twilight's last screaming.
See, wow, I had Twilight's last creaming is what I thought he said.
Oh, all right. Well, that just as add cringe, I guess.
Well,
I don't
Twilight
know.
would go on to cream again. It wasn't. But that's right. Normal Hogan line about shit.
All right. Then we get on to the main event.
So, Jason mentioned it. Sergeant Slaughter in the pre-match promo puts over that he could be disqualified, and Hogan would win the war or win the battle, but would not win the war. He says that he could be counted out, but Hogan would not win the title. And he talks about how, he has new rules.
Regular rule. That's a regular.
I forgot about this.
Jesus Christ.
That's an odd choice.
And then in the match, they don't really say what these new rules are. But after saying that he could get himself disqualified or counted out, and he has new rules, he proceeds to use a chair.
That's normal. That's a already rule.
But he plants the idea that he may get himself DQ'd, and that way it would screw Hogan over. But then he just uses a chair multiple times in front of the referee and doesn't get
the ref heard that promo and just isn't gonna fall for his shit.
Okay. This match, I'll say this. It wasn't as much of a steaming pile of dog shit that I thought it was going to be, but I graded it as a C+.
Wow, that's a high vote, because I have it as a D. I went back, and this is actually one of the only matches that's worse than I remember, and it's much, much worse. I thought the structure was fucking weird, because Hogan blades with 4 minutes left in the match, and it's literally like, oh my god, I'm bleeding now, I'm invincible, the match is over now. Just a really weird fucking structure.
Well, there is a chance that the fact that I knew that this meant the show was almost over did boost it up a bit, because I was starting to get a little excited about I get to be done with this soon. So I think maybe that played a role in the C+. Jason, Vance, what'd you guys grade this one?
So this is the only match I didn't watch yesterday. But me and Fee went back and watched all the WrestleManias, which was tough for her because she was these are terrible. Last year we watched WrestleMania 7, and if you go back and watch all the WrestleManias you watch this one, it doesn't seem as bad, but I mean still D+.
Jason,
I gave it a C+. I'm right there with you, Cash. Hogan in this match took Slaughter's face to Turnbuckle City, bitch, because there was 10 in a row turnbuckle shots. What the hell is happening? So Brock Lesnar gets a lot of flack for hitting the same move over and over again, but he must have watched this event, and that's where he got it from.
Well,
I do think that Hogan tearing the Iraqi flag up in the ring, like, now granted, this isn't even with our buddy Triple H being a MAGA elite Illuminati member these days, but that just would not fly in general in the social media days of you're ripping up another country's flag in the ring.
well, speaking of the
I felt like,
flags, let me
yeah,
say that my final note for this show is that Hogan using the American flag to wipe his sweat and blood away, only to just toss it aside while Trump watches on in the background, was a prophetic moment. Like,
I do
it
want
was
to
a
make mention
perfect.
that there are some notable people sitting next to Trump. It's very weird to go back and see in hindsight in the current situation these days.
Now they are not the people that you thought they might have been.
So you say. So you say.
oh,
You just don't want
uh,
it to be a co-owner of the New York Giants, so you're
It is
fighting against
not a
this.
right.
co-owner of the New York
It
Giants.
is.
No.
It
Uh,
is.
I know that man, and that
I
man.
looked at the
No.
pictures that they posted on the Reddit thread. It is the same guy. He's a co-owner of the New York
Oh.
Giants, and also sitting next to him at one point is Marla Maple's former publicist, who then turned into a stalker and stole 30 pairs of her shoes. So,
huh.
uh,
My, I do feel like Slaughter worked his ass off in this match,
I
and
did.
Mhm.
his side, but I don't feel like Hogan did anything. Like, again, he did turnbuckle, and then a big boot that completely missed. But because of the camera angle, I don't know that it's overly obvious. Um, but Slaughter working the back the whole time when the camel clutch is going to be the finish. Finally, we had a match that made sense. Someone making some sort of psychology of what they were doing for the match. So I'll
This
give him
felt
his
like
props.
a pre-Vince Jr. WWF match, like a 1980, 1981
Mm.
fucking Madison Square Garden main event. It just didn't feel like the style had changed so much. The drama and storytelling in the Hogan stuff, like this, just felt really weird and out of place to me.
well, so like going back and kind of like reading some people's thoughts on this show, which is just some like which wasn't a lot to talk about it, but the general consensus I found is that a lot of people our age remember this show very fondly, and they like think of it as one of the best WrestleManias ever.
Oh
Where are
my
you
God, I've
getting this
never seen
information?
that.
Like, just
Yeah.
I was
Now,
just like,
here's why. I think because the only thing I could have told you about this match going into it was this is the match, this is the event that has the Star Spangled whatever around the outside of the like arena that you can see throughout the match, and this is when Elizabeth and Macho Man get back together. That is the only thing I could have told you about this event going into it. I assumed Hogan was going to win based in what the storyline is,
a
and
few,
Hogan got a
This
pose,
started the
but
WrestleMania lull because like
yeah.
the first six have at least something noteworthy and worthwhile to watch. Starting here until like maybe WrestleMania 13 or 14, there's like nothing for the next five
I just
six
feel like
years.
that one moment though is what sticks with the nostalgia, and so that's what people think because
Well,
it can't be about any of these matches.
quite a few people brought up that at the time this was like Hogan and Slaughter was almost a dream match for like fans that like AWA and
Certain
like
age, I
a
can
certain
imagine that.
age, old school fans. Like this was
So
AWA
18
versus
So this was a dream match for 18,000 people in Milwaukee, not
no.
exactly.
Oh yeah, in Milwaukee, yeah.
Milwaukee.
So do you guys know who could have been Hogan's opponent in place of Sergeant Slaughter?
Yes, I do. Fred Ottman as the Iraqi sympathizer.
So before the first person they were gonna do the Iraqi thing was Sheik Tugboat, which is
Chic Tugboat.
fucking terrible. But wasn't the original plan like why they booked that big building in advance? Weren't they gonna run Warrior and Hogan back?
Yeah,
Yep, originally.
originally that was the plan, and then
I
I don't
think
really
they
don't
should have
know.
stuck with that plan. I don't get why they didn't.
Uh, So
guess
overall,
Warrior wasn't drawing, so what's the point of having him go over Hogan again? I guess.
which, like you said, if he would have went immediately into something with Savage, that could have taken up quite a bit of the year in between,
Right.
and then lead to him and Hogan for yeah. Overall, WrestleMania 7, I give it an overall grade of a C minus.
I give an overall grade of WrestleMania 7 a C minus.
D plus.
C plus? D
D
plus.
plus.
Okay.
I gave WrestleMania 7 an overall grade of D plus.
So
We're
wow,
split.
me and Draven, we
The
had
high
a little
vote.
bit
I
more
mean,
positive.
we're not very far apart though, the four of us.
No.
I
No,
mean,
this
there's an
was
A plus Mean Gene Dick joke. There was an A match and a couple B's. So
yeah.
I will go upstairs right now and watch the blindfold match again and enjoy it again. So there's that.
So again, thank you. I guess thank you to
no,
Nick.
not thank you. Do not thank this man.
The question is, listener, do you think you have a better show that we should now watch and review, or
Any-
a
any-
worse show that you want to hear
Yeah.
us shit
Yeah.
on?
yeah. Whatever one you'd rather us do, please let us know. Again, drop us a comment on the YouTube video. Go to our Facebook, message us, drop us comments there. Whatever you guys want to do to reach out. If you want us to review a show, we'll do it. We will do it because we sat through WrestleMania 7, proving that we are down to
It's
hate
all
ourselves.
uphill from here. So
Or if you just have like a general topic about wrestling that you want us to discuss, we can do that. If you have questions about wrestling, or like any stories from our experiences in wrestling, let us know. But we hope you enjoyed sitting through this review of WrestleMania 7, at least slightly more than we enjoyed watching WrestleMania 7. If you haven't seen it, don't. You don't need to. Just go watch Savage and Warrior and maybe
Jake and Martel.
Jake and Martel, and then you're good to go. And then Mean Gene's dick
Dick
joke.
joke.
Yeah, go check that out too. But till next time, I think we've broken kayfabe on WrestleMania 7. It's not getting put back together. Hopefully, we'll be breaking kayfabe on another show very soon. Let us know what you want us to do that to. And thank you for watching and listening. Go buy t-shirts, follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. For Vance, Desmond, Aaron Draven, and Jason Taylor, this is Cash saying good night. We love you. Mwah. To Tim.